In the heart of England's countryside lies a mysterious manor with a chilling secret. Hidden within its walls is an object of dread and fascination. A human skull, known simply as the Screaming Skull. For centuries, locals and historians alike have whispered tales of its terrifying power. They say that removing or disturbing this skull unleashes a torrent of paranormal fury, blood-curdling screams, poltergeist activity, and an overwhelming sense of dread. But is this legend merely the product of old superstitions? Or does the Screaming Skull truly harbour a dark and cursed history? The story of the Screaming Skull dates back to the 16th century, though its precise origins remain shrouded in mystery. Some believe it belonged to a servant who suffered a brutal murder on the manor grounds, vowing revenge on her oppressors even in death. Others claim it was the head of a Roman Catholic priest executed for his faith, a relic meant to warn future generations of the price of persecution. One thing is clear: the skull was brought to the manor under strange circumstances, and from the moment it arrived, the household was never the same. The first recorded incident of the skull's wrath occurred when an unsuspecting servant, disgusted by the macabre object, attempted to bury it outside. That night, unearthly screams filled the house, shaking the walls and terrifying the residents. The next morning, the skull was inexplicably back in its usual place, as if it had never been touched. Other accounts detail furniture moving on its own, doors slamming violently, and the chilling sensation of being watched. One visitor even claimed to hear whispers emanating from the skull itself, begging to be left undisturbed. Over the centuries, the skull became a source of both fear and reverence. Locals avoided the manor after dark, and travellers spoke of eerie lights flickering in its windows. The family who owned the manor became reclusive, unwilling to speak of the cursed artifact. But despite their silence, tales of the Screaming Skull spread far and wide, drawing the curious and the brave to its doors. Those who dared to approach the skull often left with their own stories of terror, adding fuel to its already notorious legend. Today, the manor still stands, though it is mostly abandoned. Paranormal investigators and thrill seekers occasionally visit the site, reporting strange phenomena: cold spots, disembodied whispers, and the unshakable feeling of being watched. Some claim the skull emits a faint, otherworldly glow under the moonlight, while others believe its curse extends beyond the manor itself, bringing misfortune to anyone who disturbs it. Yet, the origins of the Screaming Skull remain a mystery, with skeptics dismissing it as a case of mass hysteria and folklore. Could the Screaming Skull be a relic of a violent past, holding residual energy from centuries of suffering? Or is it a psychological phenomenon, amplified by fear and suggestion? Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in between. What's undeniable is the skull's power to captivate, terrify, and inspire those who hear its story. It serves as a haunting reminder of how legends can endure, blurring the line between fact and fiction. So, what do you think? Is the Screaming Skull a cursed relic, or simply a relic of human imagination? Let us know in the comments, if you dare. One thing is certain: whether you believe in its power or not, the story of the Screaming Skull continues to echo through time, just as its unearthly screams are said to echo through the halls of its forgotten home.